That's where the throne matches happen. There's WilMacca. Yeah, being a jerk. Got something in my shoes, keeping me from walking. But they must be going to expand there. So that's only 25, well, only 25,000 capacity, but it's not all seated. Do it again.
I'm getting fatter and fatter. See, what's going on? Your windows down, Mackie?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Need some air. Your stupid car can't fucking fix it.
Yeah, I could put the car on me.
So where are we, Wilma? Come on, where's your fucking sign on?
What is my
You're always sign on.
What's my sign on? Wiggity wiggity.
You're watching New Ireland TV, the TV station for New Ireland. Here we are, dispatching live from Healy Park, home of Neve, Enda and Omagh.
Okay.
Also Tyrone.
And St Enda's.
Neve, Enda. There's a lot of St Enda's around being fucking pain in my arse. Like even up in North Belfast, there's just St Enda's up there being a pain in my arse.
St Enda? I don't know what St Enda done. You should have looked at research that before we came here, Mackie.
See what is?
St Enda is. Enda was a warrior king of Oriel in Ulster, converted by his sister. It says that he's described as the patriarch of Irish monasticism. Most of the great Irish saints had some connection with Aaron. So it says like St Enda of Aaron as well. So it says County Armagh, County Monaghan, Omagh and County Life. It doesn't say anything about Tyrone here.
So what did they actually do? What was his miracle?
I don't know, I don't really see any miracles in it, to be honest.
See, this whole fucking sainthood thing, I think it's a big fucking scam.
What about
fucking it's probably somebody who had, I don't know, built the first round tower or something.
There's something about, well, there's St Brendan's here too right now. I see. Legacy. Don't know. Patrick Pearce named his bilingual boy school Scoil Enda. There you go. St Brendan's Stone. Well, it's not about St Brendan, so I don't know. Let's see. St Enda of Aaron on his way to Aaron. It is reputed he has been the resting place of St Enda is in Aran Islands. There's a well there.
It's all fucking horseshit and Catholic Vatican propaganda is what I say. Am I right?
There's a lot of saints here and all, but it doesn't really say anything about what he did. He just must be famous for being
There's about fucking 10 patron saints of Ireland.
Yeah, he just must be famous for being like a...
And
Enda was born around 450 AD in what is now the province of Ulster. He was born an Irish prince, the son of Conal Derg of Oriel. Oriel was an ancient territory in southeast Ulster that included Armagh, Monaghan.
Did he send you an email telling you he was the son of an Irish prince?
He did, and he said that he had money to give me, but I had to pay him an admin fee. Unfortunately,
no sense did anything.
He did.
How much did he bet?
St Brendan discovered America. Everybody knows that.
No, I didn't. Vikings should have fucking
I think you'll find you're incorrect, Micah. St Brendan discovered America. Having that albatross of his. There's even a song about it. I can't remember it.
So what did he do when he got there?
Looked around and then turned back and came back home because there was no good drink.
So he had the chance to establish America in Ireland's image, and he fucked it up. And yet, so now when all the fucking Puritan scumbags went over and turned it into a fucking conservative shithole, we have to deal with that thanks to St Brendan.
But sure, he looked around, saw it was okay.
Saw it was fucking the most extravagant expanse of vistas and views and natural untouched resources, and he just thought, no, fuck it.
That's Ireland you're thinking of? That's why he came back?
But he wasn't even here. I bet he was fucking travelling from Scotland or something, like that St Patrick come.
St Patrick? You don't even know where St Patrick is from, hey?
I reckon St Patrick was a fucking probably an evil cunt in real life. Like, bet he made everyone's life really fucking miserable. That's why he went around in a big fucking robe.
Sure, he was stealing pigs' food out of the trough. It's just on their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's euphemism for the dirty Irish.
shows he was in the Bullingdon Club. That's what that tells me.
They didn't steal stuff from pigs' mouths. They done something else to pigs' mouths.
Yeah, and so what do you think about handjob then?
Oh, I'm Matt. Last year, where we were chatting to Marty of Chatting Pictures fame.
Marty from the party.
Yes, And he was saying, what did he say? He paid his sex toy to come and work as his aide and give her brother lots of grants and stuff and money and contracts. Typical Tory number one. I think, well, he's probably right. Like, you know, like they've got to such a peak now that the sleaze is coming in so early. Like more public sleaze than usual. I mean,
well, we're at the point now where there's just no rule of law in Britain. Like, seriously, like the sheer level of corruption. Like, the Private Eye magazine had just a wee box detailing all the expenditure for COVID, and it was like 28 billion here, 33 billion there, 6 billion there, 29 billion there. And it's like, what the hell, it all adds up. Like, sooner or later you're gonna have a bit of money you're spending. These are all fucking corrupt contracts, like.
I know, for sure.
Like 38 billion for test and trace, what the fuck?
Well, it never
what the
worked.
Fuck to even put in a document to even fucking claim that amount of money?
But it was Dido Harden was put in the head of test and trace, right? Now she's been moved over to like NHS to oversee it, and test and trace never happened, did it? Really?
Nope. Well, where was that £200 we're all supposed to get? Is that a materialised yet?
This one here. It's a voucher. Is it a voucher? It's not even cash, is it?
Well, it's not materialised. Where the fuck it's supposed to be?
I must see if he can, what he call it, because as you know, Macca, Hang Sandwich sells t-shirts. I wonder if they'll take the voucher.
Well, do we have any examples of other t-shirts in this vicinity?
No.
Let's see. This podcast isn't, or this vidcast isn't sponsored by anyone, so I can wear whatever designs. What am I wearing my fucking belt for?
You're strapped in and ready to go for this WilMacca.
Look at this one. That is fucking cool.
Is it the shredder? Is it the ancient shredder?
That's just general samurai.
A general samurai?
Samurai
I like a lieutenant samurai.
Look at you, straight to fucking imperialist, fucking British imperialist. This is ancient Japanese imperialist. This is actually cool.
Ancient Japanese imperialist. Yeah, I always think it's quite funny. You know all those kung fu films? It's always China against Japan, and obviously the Chinese ones are like the persecuted ones in all those films. Because obviously,
because they're made in China.
They're made in China, and they're all set back when like Japan was like occupying part of China and all.
Imperial Japan.
And when you look back at it, it's like, I think like, how many people did each country have? Like, when you start up that steamroller, I'm sure you would have crushed them at some point with sheer weight of numbers.
Well, that's what the World War I was, wasn't it? It's just like a couple of cousins, instead of having a fucking punch up at a wedding like normal families. They decided to have a fucking empire head count and just kept, pushing them towards, relentless gunfire until they were all, until there was the last one standing.
Yeah. I never, kind of understand the point of, surely at some point Germany would understand they're right in the middle. So, they have to fight two wars at the same time as everybody has to fight one.
As in geographically, they're
Oh, sorry, you didn't think of the centre. Did you think I meant you're they're quite right wing? Yeah.
I thought you're well, they were fighting the Brits on one side and then
the
First World War they weren't fighting.
What?
Was World War, wasn't it?
It was World War One.
Yeah.
Why did we call it one?
Who was it saying?
The Great War. I love the way they called it the Great War. Even not that many people died, did they? Well, lots of people died, but compared to all those all those Africans at the Belgian ones that were slaughtering every day, I mean.
There was something like 60,000 in one day in the Somme, wasn't it?
In the Somme, was it?
Was something like that.
I always wondered where the Somme was.
But when you think about it, right? It's in Belgium, right? Or France, maybe.
Oh well, yeah, well.
But do you think you're fucking watching all your mates go over the top of that thing, and some cunt's still shouting at you over, while all the rest of them are still falling back from the fucking hail of gunfire? Why the fuck were they on mutiny? Why the fucking just behead the cunt that was telling them to go over?
Because he got shot.
You get, well, if you turned away and said I'm not going over, there's a death penalty. So all this narrative that it was all these brave men didn't know their fucking choice. They were trapped into death. They were fucking forced into dying.
To be fair, they signed up for it, Magga. They signed up for it.
Well, no, they signed up because they thought they were going on holiday, because that's what it was advertised on them as.
Yeah.
It'll be over by Christmas. Come on, go over and see the world. Your country needs you. Because we've only got 4 million left. And then fucking Jerry's, that cousin of mine, he's got fucking 6 million he's willing to kill. So get over there now.
Get over there now. What do you get when you get over? Like a voucher for like 20p drinks?
You get a mud coffee and dandruff. At code Blackadder. Whatever.
That was I liked that last season of Blackadder was fourth. It was alright, but it wasn't as good as the second season.
Yeah, well,
The third.
actually, Blackadder's only okay. Like
I like it.
Like there was actually episodes in the first series I actually preferred.
I just don't like his character in the first one.
I know, but
He's not as conniving, but he's more who's he based on the first one? I'm trying to think. He's a bit snivelling like. Michael Gove? Was he alive back then?
He wasn't alive back then. I think there was a story about who it was supposed to be based on.
But like, it was like Edward of something.
Yeah, but they were all
King John or something, was it?
yeah,
Prince John?
Prince John, the Mary King then. But they were all. I remember saying they were all the footlights in Cambridge. And some fucker just hand them a shitload of camera and shitload of money and let them get on with it. You don't get that from OBJECTIONABLE, do you?
No idea. I think I've only been in Omagh. Catering is bad. I think I've only been in Omagh once to get lunch.
In the catered thing?
Yeah, and when I was there, I won a coffee cup. I won a coffee cup, metal, like one of those like metal coffee cups. It was like a sponsored thing. I got a free Domino's pizza.
So they brought you to show how good they're cooking.
No, it was just like, it wasn't, no, it was just, I was at work and it was on that day and if everything was cheaper, so I went over. I was like,
It was decent actually, because they're training them ones up to be, professional catering staff. When that was still a future perspective.
Was it ever a prospective future here? I would say no. You'd have to move to England, would you not?
Well, you could do it up in Belfast, like in Belfast when the waterfront came over and the new waterfront opened. I was the only one with any experience in laying a 10 table of silver serves.
But is it really that fancy?
Well, you see, they wanted that there's a certain
Were you putting your leave your plate down by the right side from the back and all?
It's exactly that sort of thing. Yeah. You serve the plate to the left, you lift for the right.
Left for right around. Yeah.
And then it's red, white water, the way the glasses go on.
Right.
There's a whole lot of fucking stupid, useless shit, but when you put it all together, it does make the thing look nicer, I have to say. But,
who invented that? The
Doesn't make
French?
the food any better. Well, one of them imperialist scumbags anyway, I'd say.
Well, like, there's that whole thing about eating your starter first, then your dinner, and then your dessert. That's only like, what, 120 years out or something like that?
When did they ever get the idea of having two sittings?
Yeah.
2 meals in one sitting?
Well, I think they always just had all the food out in one go, didn't they? So you have a bit of dessert, then you could have like a bit of meat. I just like meat, ice cream, meat, ice cream, meat, ice cream. Meat,
Why
ice cream.
don't you just go to Hess and Blumenthal and get your bacon flavoured ice cream?
Hess and Blumenthal. They didn't have food poison, all those people? And the fat duck.
That's right. I was going to say that.
I want to know first. What do you think of Matt Hancock? I hear Matt. I don't know what I can say.
Well, you've got insider knowledge. You don't have to.
No. I mean, I don't know how vulgar we can go because I'm going to quote what was trending on Twitter.
Well, it has the objectionable content at the start of it anyway. This is us too.
So obviously the two things trending on Twitter like right in the morning time yesterday, like early in the morning, about 7 or so, was eat out to help out, and Matt Wanksock. Right?
Why Wanksock?
I don't know, but those are the two things that were trending, right? And well, I sent like somebody sent that to me, so then I sent the picture to somebody else and go like, "Oh, see what's trending on Twitter," and one of them was help out to eat out or eat out to help out, and they said back to me, "Oh my God, are we going to get cheaper food again?" And I was like, "No, I wish." That's the first thing that thought of it. I was like, I like it.
Well, you will get cheaper food because it'll come in pre-packaged powder.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be fucking famine conditions and rations again in about 18 months.
Is it made from humans? Is it green?
It would solve a lot of problems. Why would Soylent Green turn green?
I think no, because there's already Soylent Blue and Soylent Yellow and all in that film.
Right. They don't actually watch the film. except it has been spoiled for me by jokes such as that. And then
it's not really a spoiler though, because like I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe if you never knew.
It's the whole point, not.
It's a Charlton Heston film. You're not looking that deep into it. Like it's all right.
See, there is the odd time when people like that are in really, thoughtful movies without realising it, like, and all they had to do was just say their lines, and that's all they needed to do.
Yeah.
Like John Wayne every so often had a...
Oh, he was in some good films.
And,
Searchers was good. I don't mind the cowboy film, I must admit. Some of them are quite good.
Yeah, well, some of them are quite boring, was like.
And then some of them are just like comedy films. Like the Rio Bravo and all, with him and Dean Martin being drunk.
I haven't seen that one. I do have it on my list, but never watched it.
That's good. It's better than, there's rather Rio Grande and Rio Bravo. I don't know.
Rio Delphante.
Rio Delphante.
Harry Delphante all the time. You're supposed to ask me?
Can't remember. What was I meant to ask you?
I was supposed to ask you something there, was I?
You asked me something about bread.
Yes, that was one of the things. So the most popular Irish brands of 2020 came out. And in adherence with my bread standard, 4 of the top 10 brands were baking or bread. Patch Pan was number 8.
Is this in Ireland?
Yeah.
Okay. And I thought, right, so you want me to name the first ones?
Well, so you can name the top one. I can't remember what the other ones were.
We'll see. I would... Brennan's.
Yeah.
So Brennan's is right. Right, Brennan's.
And then there's some other seating
Is there like...
brands as
Ormo? No. Let's see, Brennan's. There's that, you know what bread I always see about now? That Gallagher's sourdough loaf and all the wee small ones about that size.
So that's probably a local bakery.
Yeah, maybe. They go halfway fast, but still.
Well, they're not pumped full of chemicals. No, well, Brennan's was top. Patch Pan was number 8. I'm trying to think what the other ones were.
Home.
Irwin's.
Is Home Pride English? I think
that's English. And then there's another one down south. Then there's stuff like Avonmore and Kerry butter and stuff like that. You think, fuck, right enough, I don't see half of those brands up here, and I'm very, very familiar with them. Like Avonmore, you can even get Avonmore up here. Well, actually, I've just
you can get Avonmore in Lidl, I think. But I always eat the little, such a little butters. There's an Irish one in Lidl's class. It's the exact same as that Golden Cow.
It's probably from the same vat. That's why.
It probably is. It's always. I don't.
Probably the same. Bunions that were crushing it.
What do you call the stuff that's made from olive oil? The butter that's got the olive oil in it.
Margarine. Olivia.
There's like the oil one based ones. I'm like, no, I don't like them. Margarine, no. I never understood how that was health. Like we got that because it's healthier than butter, and I was like, it's white and you dye it yellow. It comes white and you dye it yellow, and like people think it looks like butter. And I'm like, I think I'll stay away from it. It looks like a square of plasticine I'm eating here.
Do you know they bleach eggs? Fucking septics bleach their eggs so they don't look like, that
they're
sort of
white.
color. Yeah, they're pure white.
Aye, and that's bad for you too. That's how they keep getting salmonella in America, because that outer shell, the brown part's like one of the most protective parts of the egg, and they bleach that away, and that's how the salmonella can get through the layers easier after that.
And then you have things like Rocky, where he just fucking breaks 5 raw eggs and dunks it. I'm sure that give a good inspired a good round of salmonella around the streets of Philadelphia.
Yeah, all these little short Italian guys, they're all got dying of salmonella poisoning. But to be fair, salmonella does sound like an Italian name.
Yeah, true.
Salmonella.
Salmonella. Looking.
Yeah, to be fair, Adrian couldn't get out of that apartment because he was just having his hands up blocking the way out. It's highly dubious.
Holding the hinge?
No, he was standing up holding like a bar at the top, like, so what we doing here? Poor Adrian, hey?
Like
Pumped out by our brother.
Is that like Harrison Ford in Blade Runner?
Can't even remember. What did he just laugh her?
No. She was about to leave in a bad mood and you just smacked the door closed. And then, this is the robot. So it was alright, it wasn't really...
it was a robot?
It wasn't the R word.
Robot is an R word?
It wasn't an R word of the robot.
Alright, okay.
Because, they don't have feelings.
They did have feelings, that was the point of the film, McAfee.
Well, Harrison Ford's supposed to be a good guy. But there's a big collection of tires over there that seems very vulnerable to cultural appropriation, shall we say.
Here, what do you think, now we're talking about it, what do you think's going to happen on the 12th of July, Macca? Do you think we're going to have a bit of trouble, or?
Nobody's taking me up on my offer.
What is that?
They put an effigy of me at the top of their fire.
Have you asked people?
I don't know, here.
Oh, that's true. But are people that do you think you've got many fears of this situation?
The word should get out. It's up to people to get the word out. So what are you playing at? I have noticed a lot of yous watching, talking to other people, not mention what you watch it.
What do you mean?
Well,
you're not telling people where they're watching your high-class program of New Ireland TV?
Exactly, yes. They're not telling each other how to find their New Ireland TV, not installing it in each other's TVs and whatnot.
Well, I have been advertising, so there should be 2 more houses set up and watching 24/7, Macca.
See, there's... Yeah. That's what you need to be at.
Well, what can I say? I'm a patriot. I'm a true patriot to the New Ireland.
You love your country.
Yeah. Well, there's something else. I was going to ask you something. I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was? No?
Well, I told you to remind me about the sketch idea I came up with yesterday.
Oh, here, by the way, right, so I got Lucozade, but I got it because I'm diabetic, but now they don't have enough sugar in it, so I'm dying.
There's no sugar. I love the way we give 2 soft drink brands and free advertising.
Yeah, no. To be fair,
not even football special.
I was going to say, I was looking for a bottle of football special in the shop, and there was none. Like a wee, just ordinary bottle of the drink.
Do you not find that fucking every shop in this fucking country has the exact same selection of fucking drinks and confectionery?
But sure, they're all from the same...
Yeah, it's just Mars.
Is it Henderson Group?
Well, I think Mars and Coke distribute themselves in Ireland.
Probably.
Like, I don't know, maybe I misremember this, but I think there used to be more options. But now I'm thinking back,
there's not many, things like sweets and all, there's not as many. Even though, well, to be fair, the one in Omagh, like the Orchard Road shop, has a shit ton of sweets, but no, I think there's not as many like choices, especially crisps.
Crisps is actually the one that I'd say is choice.
Do you think so? No, compared to down south, I don't think there is.
Well, you have Kills, you have
Tito,
Walkers,
McCoy's, Walkers.
Yeah.
Who buys Walkers, like?
Fucking idiots.
Did you see that?
People who don't like the lining of their throat and therefore just fucking eat that, whatever it is they line Walkers with, it burns the inside of your fucking larynx. Like.
What was it? Do you remember a while ago? Was it Marks and Spencer's were trying to sue Lidl for their caterpillar cake or something? Because they said, oh, it's the exact same as our Swiss roll caterpillar cake. Well, I was like, of all the things you could have picked, there's so many caterpillar cakes. Like, why did you not pick something like you can get a packet of what they called hunky dories in Lidl. You can get a packet of okie dokies.
Yeah.
Okie dokies.
Well, it's the shampoos and stuff. Like Asda brand shampoo looks the exact same. Like if you had blurry vision, you wouldn't be able to tell if it was the actual brand or the own brand. That's what they do. They try. All these supermarkets are all trying to trick fucking pensioners into buying the wrong thing.
Well, Mac, did you hit or miss? That's good. That's well done. We've actually got a crowd watching us sitting in over here.
Oh, fuck.
I saw them sitting looking in.
Talking.
Which is funny because I don't think the viewers of the show recognise how much dignity we lose by sitting in a car in public talking into cameras, you know? Not that you lose any, you didn't have any in the first place.
No, dignity.
But like,
if you're attaching value to dignity, it's your own fault.
Value?
And that's why that's the imperialist got it away. Like the power of shame. Shame is the weapon.
You know, out of you're meant to be. You know, you keep your dignity when you take the higher ground. Higher ground means you say nothing about it, Macca.
Give an example of when a higher ground needs to be taken. So let's say I steal all your tires out of your motor shop, and what do you do?
Right.
So it's your motor shop, and you take the higher ground with dignity.
I don't know how you take the higher ground with dignity over that. You'd phone the police, obviously. But then... Doubt. I don't know if there's like something like that. It's more it's more like argument wise, is it? Or somebody does something to you. Well, that's not criminal. More insulting, is it?
They go low, we go high. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
You know, when people start, like for example, Cameron used to fucking on the dispatch box at question time used to you know, say, why did you wear some nice clothes, you fucking div to Corbyn or whatever. Like, he used to, you know, insult his clothes. Like, oh, it's like, when it's the fucking Prime Minister doing it, the fucking dispatch box, like, the fucking country's dead anyway. Like, there is no fucking country.
But there's no country.
Like,
you know it's a rogue state, Macca. It's a fascist state. Did you not hear their Hitler Youth song that they brought out about strong Britain?
I didn't actually hear it. I heard all the outrage of it, and I think it'll be forgotten about in 2 weeks.
I don't really think there was much. I don't think there was really outrage. I wasn't outraged by it. I just thought, you know, they're definitely going full V for Vendetta kind of society here now.
Well, yeah, they have pushed authoritarianism quite aggressively since 2019.
Like the adverts from Priti Patel and all, it just got that. It's even got the right font and everything, and square. And I'm like, am I in real life now? Maybe we are, and maybe this is like a simulation.
See, here's my theory. Danny Boyle, during the 2012 Olympics,
right?
That was when the Mayans had predicted it was going to go all crazy. He's done something that was such a big show. It's knocked out the space-time continuum or something. We've gone into a different parallel universe. It's all turned to shit since then.
What about if that was an event that everybody in the world watched, and at one point of it, there was something coming through the rays in the TV, we all fell asleep, and then woke up, and we didn't know we'd been sleeping, and we actually all woke up in like a computer simulation, like the Matrix. We're all strapped up.
Yep.
I could believe it, you know. It's the Great Reset.
Well, yeah. Makes more sense than, you know, elections.
Makes more sense than elections. Here, what about there's a by-election down in Dublin now at the minute.
Dublin Bay South.
Dublin Bay South. Aye.
They always seem to take fucking ages.
I know they do.
I swear, since I started hearing about that Dublin Bay South, there's been 3 by-elections in the UK. Like, there's a third one just about to start now.
Why do they all die off in England or what?
Well, that's the thing. It's like only been 2 years since they're part of it.
Yeah. But this one in Dublin is Fine Gael have obviously. It should be a Fine Gael place because it's like a pretty affluent area in Dublin. But they're getting so anxious now that all these young people, voters, are voting for Sinn Féin that they had their Ardèche there, and Leo Frogger came out promoting United Ireland.
Indeed he did, yeah.
just so they can grab those votes and do further down to Fine Gael.
Well,
if possible, if he's doing more than Micheál Martin, that is. You know the man. You know the Micheál Martin, the man that sits. Anytime he talks about anything, he's holding an invisible ball.
that's what Angela Merkel thing upside down. Yeah, she used to do it like that.
But he's like it.
It's just fucking Mr. Burns, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he does look like Mr. Burns, Micheál Martin. Like, by every passing year, he looks more and more like Mr. Burns. But yeah, so what do you think? What did you think of Leo's?
Well, I've been saying for a good while that well, I actually went to Fianna Fáil's Ardèche and told them exactly this: that if you don't start fucking moving to the north, you're going to get surrounded on both sides by Fine Gael and Sinn Féin. Lo and behold, I'm right as always. No, but so Fine Gael, he's been actually doing a lot of this. Like, he's gone up to the headquarters of the Orange Order and stuff, and he's made visible strides. And he, like, as I said, his political legacy would be up there with Charles Stewart Parnell and Daniel O'Connell by now, if he wasn't such a fucking corrupt wee shit.
Blue shirt?
Yeah. Well, we don't know he's corrupt yet, according to the law.
Well, they're the law and party. They're the law and order party, and he's under criminal investigation by the guards for leaking documents.
But yeah, so he's taking over the Taoiseach, assuming, you know, he hasn't been arrested at that point.
Next year, is it?
Well, yeah, after the vaccines and after we're up and running, so the whole country's going to be in a good mood. There's projections that Ireland's going to grow by 11% next year.
Yeah.
11%, fucking hell.
But it went down a bit too, didn't it?
No, it grew. It was the only country in the world where the economy grew in 2020, even though it was the longest lockdown of all the countries.
Well,
it grew by 5%.
Like,
not even, you know, it just tricked over the line. Like, that's a good number in a normal year.
Yeah. Well, like, obviously, exports from the south went flying up, haven't they? Since Brexit, and like a lot of businesses have moved over to Dublin and stuff, and they need to move somewhere else other than Dublin right now.
Well, so you're gonna have to. Yeah, well, I think they're gonna have to start bringing up Cork a bit now. Belfast.
You know, Cork's a dear place for housing too. You know. Like Cork's, like there's not much difference in price for renting in Cork than Dublin now.
Yeah, the problem is that there's no fucking buildings.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, why aren't they building the fucking houses? And then they've got all those ghost estates. Why not just fucking soup them up again? Get them going again?
I think it's because the ghost estates are still owned by public people too.
Yeah, well, exactly.
That won't sell them.
All goes back to fucking land ownership. It's like, fuck away off. Just, if they're not using the land within 3 years, they should be fucking stripped off them. Like,
I wouldn't just strip them off them. You need to give them some money for taking their land, like.
Well, no, if they haven't invested, and land is the single most finite resource we have.
I know.
We can't get rid of it or add to it.
That's why. Isn't that why Sinn Féin keeps going against these housing developments in Dublin and stuff, isn't it? Because they want each one that they keep bringing up are so like in favour of like the people developing the land. Basically, they're getting 50% of the land for free and all, and like less than 50% of the land that they're giving away to the developers is going to be used. The less than 50% will be used for social housing. The one thing that they need them to build. There's a pile of stuff about that at the minute.
Well, that's been another problem that they've imported from Britain because that was happening in London. Fucking like councils weren't building houses after Thatcher did the right to buy thing, which I found out is only 5 years. Is that right? You've got a right to buy after 5 years.
Is it? Maybe.
I thought it was 20 years, and I thought that's fair enough. 5 years is far too short.
Plus, they never charge any money. I might get a council house just to buy one, you know.
Same here now. But a sketch show idea that I just came up with yesterday.
Okay. Alright, so the sketch idea. Right, let's hear it. Alright, so before you start, right. Before you start that one, are you going to put the sketch idea into this? Is it Celtic?
The things passed. The deadline was yesterday, isn't it?
Oh, was it? Yeah. Right, so let's hear the sketch idea then.
I had fucking 5 freaking deadlines this week and I missed 2 of them. But Fine Gael fitting it. Hang on, I've written down. It's texted you. Where's your phone?
Unbelievable.
See, it's a fucking brand new idea. We're actually going to be hashing out the potential for this idea.
Is this going to be on the air on the TV?
It's probably, I might do it as a TikTok movie.
A TikTok? I don't have TikTok. I'm an old man now. Marty has TikTok. He's quite big in it, is he?
I don't know. So Marty fucking wastes his life on fucking social media, for fuck's sake.
You go look there, see if you can find it. I don't know if it's in yours or in the other, me and your Marty's group.
I think it's in the group. But he's always wasting his time. Okay, so it's a pair of bickering politician types.
Okay.
Grandees of the parties.
Like in the one party?
Fine Gael Finnegan and Fianna Fáil Flanagan.
Right, okay.
And they look exactly the same, except their peak caps are, one of them's pointing that way, the other one's pointing that way.
Alright, okay.
They're always bickering about stupid shit. That's the joke.
That's the premise the whole series is written on, is it?
Well, it's not a series, it's a sketch.
That's a sketch.
It's like I'm thinking of making that like a sketch, you know, topical thing that I can respond to the news with.
You should, well, that would be good.
Don't know what to do for Sinn Féin yet.
You should do, what do you call it? I'd love to see like a Yes Minister, but with Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael working together. That would be hilarious. Same thing, Macca, same thing.
I like the think of it.
Aye. And then you do that there, and then every so often just see a Sinn Féin person comes in and wrecks the whole thing. Wrecks the whole establishment, Macca.
Yeah. And then the other bit of quality entertainment was when this is the UK lottery. I've just given UK money.
You know what?
Shouldn't have done that.
I have to say, Marty was right. The telly bingo, and the Irish telly bingo is class crack. You should do it. I might get you a ticket. Do you know
play along on the TV?
Aye, you get it. It's basically like where you get the lottery ticket in the south. You can buy a telly bingo thing and you play along with it. It's good crack. It's on Tuesday. It's on Tuesday and Fridays at like, I don't know, 12:30 or something.
I have seen it all. It seems really boring.
No, it's good. It's good crack once you get into it. But then you can watch it later on YouTube, you know. So Marty bought me and Susan a ticket. We played it. It was good crack, but I need to get another one. Oh, Lefford Cinema is open now.
Oh, really? What's that?
Let's scratch it here.
Okay, is that making noise? Of course it is. I won £5 potentially.
Potentially £5. I don't know what everything's out. I saw that Cruella in Omagh because I went to cinemas and it was good. It was actually good.
Remakes.
It wasn't a remake.
How long do you think it's going to take them to do a live action?
It was good. It was a good film, actually. Really good.
I don't think it's going to take them to a live action reboot of The Simpsons with Kevin James as Homer or something.
Oh, it's John Goodman too, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, obviously, is he not dead?
Is John Goodman dead? No, surely not.
Check that out. I think he might be.
No. Actually, the one thing I always think of John Goodman for is
No, I'm thinking of something different.
John Kennedy.
Possibly John Kennedy.
Do you know arachnophobia?
I remember seeing the bit where your man puts his foot on his bedroom slipper and then
Dies instantly.
and didn't watch the rest.
That was a great film, and John Goodman.
Ron Howard, was it?
Maybe. Julian Sands was in that. Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know, I've never heard of him.
Have you never heard of him? Yeah, good actor, English fella. He wasn't the main star of it, like he was one of the stars. He played a scientist in it. But
Probably on my Patton's boat.
what? My Patton's boat? or what do you call him, his yacht? What do you call it, the yacht that person may or may not have went missing from? Remember they said they just threw a kid overboard or something?
What was that on?
I don't know, it was one of the Prime Ministers was there, wasn't he?
Anthony Eden?
No.
Or Ted Heath?
Ted Heath, maybe?
That they threw a child over the side of a boat?
Supposedly.
Well, they're paying £200 million for another Royal Yacht. None of them want.
How much is it?
200 million.
200 million. If they do call it Bodie McBoatface, this one again, that would be hilarious.
Let's see.
I think they're not
Well,
going
that happened, that Bodie McFace, right?
Aye.
Number one, that was sort of a joke going around the internet all the time. Like,
Yeah.
But they did put it open to an open vote, and that won. And first, they said they were going to use that.
Yeah, and then they didn't.
Like,
They called it like the Lord Attenborough or something.
Aye, something fucking wank like that. Like, what was wrong with Bodie McBoatface? Like, it's not offensive or anything.
No.
It was just, a bit of a light-hearted... Well, there should be no fun. This is the United Kingdom.
Your British Lions didn't win, Macca.
That's another case of the British Lions lying to us. They promise the world and then don't fucking deliver.
Well, I said
There should only be difference.
they're not going to do another vote like that because they know somebody will wreck it. But if they did, I would call it "Take your trade and shove it." How did £200 million yacht to promote trade to the UK? What a load of it's getting to like where we're like we don't talk about Putin's super yacht that his friend owns.
Well, it is now a fucking tin pot dictatorship. Like,
No.
like it's not even like you say this in fucking Oxbridge and then don't be so fucking melodramatic. It's like, no, we're already there, and you stupid cunts are so fucking dim that you don't see it yet, and that's how it's going to fucking get embedded.
A £200 million yacht for trade, like what?
It's a military yacht as well, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, it's got military capacity, I think, because
I hope they're not going to go around the waters of Crimea. The Russians might shit it out of the water, blow it out of the water. I love it. How would you love it, Macca?
I would actually say I hate Putin. But then I would also love to see the Brits get their noses bloody as well.
How dare you go in Russian water? Hey, that would cause a serious international incident right there. Hey?
Well, they all got together in Cornwall. Why did they not just take them out then?
Take me out, Putin?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well,
do you
said.
do you think anybody ate any food during that whole conference, just in case?
Right, nothing.
They brought their own tea and all, flasks, just in case.
Like fucking George Bush's dad fucking throwing up on that Japanese Prime Minister.
That would happen?
I think so, yeah. I don't know if I got all the details, but there was like a state visit when George H.W. was president, and the seafood made him sick, made him actually throw up, and he threw up on the fucking boy's laps beside him.
Yeah, brilliant.
Do you ever see Hot Shots where he does that? That's what that's from.
Brilliant. I wonder, right enough, hey? I don't, is Putin really doing anything different than anybody else? I don't know.
He's shooting civilian aircraft out of the sky. That's unforgivable as far as I can see.
Who did he shoot? Oh, there was one plane, wasn't there?
Two, at least two.
Was there?
There was MH130 or MH170, and then that one was full of, scientists going to that conference, all them Dutch scientists.
I can't really remember. Why did they shoot that time?
Because it was flying over Ukraine or something. I don't know.
Oh, right, okay.
They
flew over here, didn't they? Russians?
Did they?
I think so.
Well, they're fucking flying over the United States. The CIA report's been released. They have no idea, in 214 files, they have no idea what they've actually witnessed in 213 of them. So either the Russians or the Chinese are so far ahead of them, they can't even contemplate what the technology is, or we've been visited by extraterrestrials. So which do you reckon?
Extraterrestrial.
So yeah, that's what I would think. But, yeah, I need to see. Apparently it's only been released this month.
We've reached the peak of technology now. We can't go any further. Anything else made after this is irrelevant.
Well, to be honest, like, I don't really see a point where we could drive an automated vehicle more than 20 miles an hour. So I'm just going to stick with my horse and cart.
Well, as you know, the human body can't go faster than 50 miles an hour, because if we did, we would disintegrate into liquid.
Yes, I believe I read it in that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, fuck. Hey, you need to be famous enough that you can get away with bringing this kind of stuff out. Oh, now that we're talking about people that are rich enough and nuts enough to do stuff, what about the fact that John McAfee committed suicide in the prison?
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't even know he was in prison. Was that news?
He was only in... I don't think he was... well, I knew he was in prison because he was tweeting from prison.
So he must have been in there for a good few weeks. How was that not fucking news? If the United States has agreed an extradition with an EU country, Spain of all ones, because Spain is very... Like, Spain doesn't have an extradition with the UK, even though they're both in the EU.
I think he still could have appealed while he was in prison, not to be extradited, but obviously. But sure, you know, he had the tattoo to prove it, Macca. Remember he put the tweet out saying, oh, if I'm in prison here, if I end up like Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide in prison, you know I've been whacked. And he went like this, and he goes, I've got the tattoo to prove it. And he had like a dollar sign and the word whacked on it.
So he preempted his own suicide to blame somebody else?
By saying he wouldn't commit suicide. And he also said that on the event of my death, if anything happens to me, 13 terabytes of information I've collected on people will be released to the public.
He said that?
Uh-huh.
When did he say that?
You mean? No, he said it right ago. Like, I don't know how long ago, like a couple months ago, was it?
Well, then who'd want him off then? See, I was thinking...
But if that's true, like, he surely needs, like, they wouldn't have killed him unless, if he was killed, they wouldn't have killed him unless they had control of the 13 terabytes of information.
Well, who'd want him off?
He knows, sure, he was nuts himself, you know, he's read about his life, this nuts stuff he's done. Like, he bought that compound in Belize.
Well, a lot of them were doing that, probably.
He had a compound in Belize, and it was meant to be for researching stuff from the forest to see if he could help medicine or whatever. Then there was
psychedelics.
Yeah, there was rumours that he was actually running a methamphetamine lab, but like that was just a rumour. But he had all these, do you know
Funny,
about this?
That was actually bad as that is, because meth is such a fucking destructive force in our world. It's actually worse than what I assumed you were going to say. He started a paedophile fucking compound or something. Or it's not as bad as what I thought you were going to say.
But he had all these dogs or whatever, and there was somebody living beside him, I think a teacher. I forget what his name was, I know, but he always complained about the dogs barking. And I think one of the dogs might have turned up poisoned or something. And obviously he must have blamed him. But then the guy that lived beside him that complained about the dogs ended up, I think he was shot, dead.
How do you hear all this?
Well, I read it.
You read it?
No, I read it. So this boy was shot, and no, it wasn't read it. This boy was shot, and the police went thinking it was him that shot him because he complained about his dogs. And he heard he was shot, so he dug a trench, put a cardboard box over his head, and buried himself. And was on the phone when he was under the ground going, "Aye, there's no way I can let these boys arrest me. I'll end up dead." Because he believed that this other boy was shot as a mistaken identity, and it was actually after him. And it was on the news when he was buried under the ground with a cardboard box over his head going, "I'll offer 25,000 Belize whatever dollars to if anybody knows the killer of this man." Even though people thought it was him that killed him.
So he went in the run. Musk, who just couldn't move as much Bitcoin.
Well,
there's characters like that, like, you know, Tiger King's a bit of a character like that. They're just fucking complete nut jobs. That's
why he's like entertaining. I have to say the man had a bit of adventure.
Yeah, it was good value.
But when you hear this, right? So he went on the run then, and to disguise himself, he grew his hair, put them into dreadlocks, wore a rainbow beanie hat, stuck tampons up his nose to widen his nose. And it doesn't say what else he done to his face, but I think he may have coloured it in some way so he could escape. And he escaped with his wife.
See.
Yes.
I thought you were going in the sort of wavy gravy disguise. You were actually going in the Bob Marley disguise.
Yeah, I think that's what he done. He stuck tampons up his nose, not all the widen it.
Look at that.
And he went on the run. And the woman he brought, I don't know if they were married or whatever, but she got caught in some country. And he got, I think he got brought back to America. But once he was in America, I don't know if he escaped. I don't think he escaped. I think he was just out living. He went away again, and after after 19 hours in America, he picked up a prostitute and was she was living with him as his girlfriend.
You can't really say they were living with somebody if having moved 24 hours.
Oh well. No, but then they stayed together for a while, and then he was in Moscow. He went to Moscow and all. Some good video. That's only some of the stuff he done. Supposedly,
he's not as famous as Musk then, because he's actually got more of a Bonnie and Clyde element to it.
It does, and plus he's got supposedly when he was getting all this stuff about, obviously McAfee antivirus software, viruses were not prevalent whatsoever in the 1980s and the 90s.
Well,
and he was the one
that is the virus, the McAfee is the fucking
pop him all the time.
And I was going to say, I bet you what happened to him was that he was forced to use the prison computers that had fucking McAfee pre-installed, and he finally saw the fucking fruits of his own labour, and he just thought, fuck it.
No, well, what do you call it? He put a tweet out. He was saying about the Spanish prison only had eight English language books. I think it was 5 or 6 of which are romantic novels by somebody that had 3 for £1 sticker on them, and he goes, I've now realised the disgust for English writing. All this kind of crap. He was good, hey. One of the videos I saw him he was doing this course of making drinks, and he was doing proper cocktails. But one of them that he made was he basically poured a full glass of vodka about that much out. It was called the Soviet Sino Peach. And it was meant to be a proper cocktail, but he says, sorry, I haven't been on for a while. I find this one. My Chinese friends in Moscow here showed me it. Poured out a thing of vodka about that much, and another glass, a wee bit of soda water. He goes, you do this, take a bite out of the peach, don't chew it. He just sunk the whole vodka in the own glass. Then he chewed the peach, and then just took the soda water. He goes, you'll never forget it. But I was looking at the room, and the whole room was lined with tin foil. So I was thinking, it's not quite right here.
He's like that boy from Better Call Saul.
I've never seen it.
No, it's a lot better than the other shows, I think.
Breaking Bad.
But
so, that's my John McAfee. Great voice on him, Macca.
Don't know what he looks like, don't know what he sounds like. I don't know what his fucking name is because that fucking antivirus. Seriously, that put me off using Windows. Now I'm thinking about it, because those fucking constant pop-ups and restarts, update prompts and all that never actually fucking worked. I bought a computer from John Lewis online, and you have 7 days there where you do anything. If you buy anything over a distance, like over the phone or in catalogs or whatever, you have 7 days to change your mind without having to give a reason. So before the 7 days was finished, I said, fuck it, take this back and send me a proper computer. And they sent me an Apple.
You didn't even ask them, you just sent me a proper computer and sent you an Apple.
Yeah.
Here,
still using.
What about your bike? How's it going?
I was into Caldwell's yesterday.
They changed the
brakes back around.
Your brakes are around all the way. Marty bought a bike too.
I seen that.
I have also a bike that the first gear isn't working. Marty's bike looks good. It was 300, I think, at Decathlon.
See, I probably should have just went to Decathlon. What
was yours?
It was 300.
Yeah, yours looks a bit more fancy than his, though, right?
Well,
now.
it's a
his
hybrid.
Is a hybrid. His is a hybrid too. I like a hybrid bike now for roads. It's so good, like.
I sort of wish I just had went for a mountain bike.
Why?
Because
they go around the forest and stuff.
Yeah, well, that.
Pretty Garsing Lands.
Yeah.
Is it going yet? No.
Well, sure, who cares? But you're doing this for my purposes. I'm not going to be doing 60 miles on a journey. I'm going to be going from one end of town to the other.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do that on a hybrid bike. 60 miles.
That's what I have been planning now that I have a curly handlebar bike.
Aye, that's what you're going to do. But yours is like a road bike, is it? Or is it hybrid?
Well, I'm not sure. Like the tires seem a bit thick.
Yeah, I think yours would be alright. I wouldn't mind that. I've got like either a mountain bike or like a road proper one that's like the tires like that sweet. And I'd love to have one that's in the middle, but I'm not buying another bike now. Though one of the bikes is like basically £750 and the other bike was £80.
Where'd you get that cycle to work scheme?
I did. That's where I got the 800. I only paid about 40% of it out of my own money.
See them fucking bike shops as well. Like you want to. I wanted to take part of that cycle to work, so I was thinking, do you know what I'll do? I'll take like £50 a month for 6 months, and I'll have a decent bike after £300. No, all the bikes have to be fucking 1,200. So you're fucking paying it for
where did
5 years. Well, it was only like when I was in thesis, they had an arrangement with a specific bike shop. But it wasn't, it wasn't their fucking, manageable price bikes.
Alright, no, mine was basically any bike. It was a civil service one. The first place I went to was an Omagh, well-known Omagh bike shop. Like a person, from Omagh, not like a Halfords or something. And I sent them like 2 emails. Because I thought, right, I'll pay the money to somebody local. And they were on the list. So I was like, oh, well, yeah, fair enough, I'll go and sent 2 emails, didn't they answer? No, maybe 3 emails. I phoned them, and they said they would phone me or get back to me. And they never did. So they lost out on about £800, so that's their own fault, eh? I was willing, so then at the end up I went to Decathlon. And I didn't do this, right, Macca? However, the fella in Decathlon said, now if you want, I can add, if you want to get like other things like a pump and gloves and anything else, accessories for your bike, I'll just put them on as include them in the price of the bike, so you get them in your cycle to work scheme instead of having to pay them yourself.
Why did you not do that?
Because that would be illegal, highly illegal, Macca, and I would never do such a thing.
It's going to be that really illegal.
Yeah, you're not allowed to get accessories in it. Part of the scheme you weren't. Part of the scheme was that you weren't allowed to do it, and I would never do such a thing.
This scheme.
By the way, have you seen my bike gloves?
Well, I've got a few things to add there. So this scheme that's supposed to encourage people to bike because it's healthier. It forces people to buy really expensive bikes.
Your ones, those?
Well,
mine's didn't. I could have bought like £80 bike.
Okay, well, the one I was doing, encouraging, like, sort of making you buy a really expensive bike, which then is a very attractive theft. So you're still fucking paying. Like, it's not as if it's free money. Like, you're still paying it. You're just paying it off without interest.
Do you end up owning your bike at the end?
I assume so.
Yeah. See, my cycle work team said at the end that
I think they want you to start a new one then. But.
Yeah, and it says but they didn't have a way to dispose of the bikes anyway. Like, really, they still owned it, but they didn't have anywhere to keep them or dispose of them, so they just gave them to you or something like that there. But there was no actual thing saying it was your bike. But it was your bike. It's like, I've got the bike.
So what, that wasn't even a hire purchase thing, that was just you hiring a bike out of your pocket that the government pays for, and they get all the profits up.
What profits?
You get to keep probably sold.
No, not the company, like your work, my work itself, civil service. I mean, like, there was nothing on the site.
Oh, sorry, the work owns the bike?
Yeah,
right, okay.
But they don't win nobody, because like, they never said anything, or you just take it with you. But it was just funny, it was just like suppose they always have a way out if they wanted to keep the bikes, but, or maybe if you stop paying for part of it or something.
They need some sort of
yeah. But
consideration.
So you had to get a dear bike from yours?
Well, I didn't actually go for it in the end, because I was only living like 700 meters away from the place, like, so I just walked it every morning.
Like, remember when I lived in Belfast, was like a mile away from work, but I never cycled it, I just walked it.
See, that would be a 2-minute cycle.
Yeah, I know. Are
you talking from Ormeau to the gasworks?
Ormeau's gasworks, or Fitzroy the gasworks, aye.
So it was, I suppose that's not really that long. But, a bike makes Belfast really small and really manageable. Yeah,
it was handy. Sure, I used to go from, basically the Ormeau Road to the city centre, and then sometimes I went out to Corporation Street in the bike. Handy, like. On the route that Noah Donahue would have taken. Whatever happened to him? Does anybody know yet? Has Stephen Nolan ever talked about it on the radio?
He has not, although I found out he did actually talk about something else. It wasn't Bobby Story's funeral yesterday.
Oh, what was that?
Or are you not listening? Considering you have the fucking propaganda pumping out every fuck. Do you know what he fucking did? Came into my fucking driveway this morning. Me hungover, I guess. The fucking BBC Radio Ulster pumping, piped in. The whole fucking neighbourhood could hear.
Well, I was listening to Ulster Scots on it.
Trying to fucking tell my mother to stop fucking listening to it, and you come into that fucking racket happening.
I listen to certain programmes because you don't really hear Ulster Scots and anything else. In fact, I think New Ireland TV should have some Ulster Scots on it, Maya.
They had an Ulster Scots song.
Oh, did it?
In the favourite Irish song, so why don't you shut your fucking hole?
Didn't hear it, Maya.
Yeah, because you weren't fucking listening, because you're bigoted against Ulster Scots.
I'm not bigoted against Ulster Scots. I think it's, I actually listen to it a lot. I'm like, it's quite good. But at some time, like, I'm like, is it a language?
No, do you should say? It's like, anytime someone tries to claim Ulster Scots or anything, just say, sorry, you'll have to, I can't really hear them speak the language. Just not do anything that they're looking to do. It's like, if you can get an English language translator, it'll be all for you.
Well, you can get one in Stormont now who's doing a speech in Ulster Scots.
Yeah.
Live translation. Now, to be fair, some of the words in Ulster Scots, if you saw them written down, you wouldn't have bothered what they were.
Are you softening on the Ulster Scots?
I'm not softening. I'm like, what do you, there's no softening. It's just like it's just like a dialect of people chatting.
Well, like words like weished. Is that not from Gaelic?
How you weished?
Well, just weished.
I don't know.
As in be quiet. Ishtige, weished.
Ishtige, yeah, probably. But they both come from the same place, like, don't they? Well, both Ulster Scots, Scottish, Celtic.
Well, you know, the Scots Gaelic is different, isn't it?
It's different, like, there's still a lot the same in it. Well, it's different Ulster Scots, but there's similarities between, like, Irish Gaelic and Scottish Gaelic, like.
Well, those two are obviously the same family of languages.
Yeah. It's just, like, because, like, it's the same way as we say smithereens, and they'll say daffy wean for a disabled child.
The word is gammy.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so.
Well, are you extending this thing out the back here?
Healy Park?
Yeah.
I think you're going to get a few, you're going to get a bit of a picture of Healy Park for people to see, Macca.
Yeah, probably should, eh?
It's only you didn't buy a house. You're in the market for a house in Belfast, Macca?
Well, I took a notion now once fucking... I just wanted to have a look at a place that had an interesting design of a flat where you go in ground floor level, and there's a kitchen, and then a tiny tiddly bedroom and tiny tiddly toilet, and then you go downstairs and there's a proper bathroom, a proper bedroom, and a sitting room.
Is this under the ground, or?
Yeah. And then they've broken through one of the ceilings, so the light from the ground level is illuminating the whole thing, and the kitchen's sort of hanging over, and you can look down and see the sitting room.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I was looking at that, it was 85 grand. Apparently they've got an offer for 70.
Ah, right.
Everyone's telling me not to fucking... Well, everyone's telling me to go buy something. They've been telling me for 15 years, buy a fucking house. So I'll take one notion to go and look at fucking a flat, and now they're fucking bombarding me as, buy a house, don't buy a flat, buy a house, buy a house. So I don't want a fucking house. House is harder to clean, for fuck's sake.
No, they're not. They're exactly the same to clean.
There's like twice as many rooms.
Yeah, but you don't have to clean every room, Magga, the one time. The house beside our home house is for sale at the minute. Don't know how much it is. It's a full acre, like. You could set up a meth lab. You could be the next suicide in the prison cell.
High King of Scotland.
The High King of Scotland.
Well, I don't want to start a meth epidemic, you know, like.
A meth-epidemic?
Meth-epidemic, yeah. If we could start one in maybe some of them towns in England, like any county with a shire at the end. Like Brokenshire.
What, like the fella? What's his first name?
I can't remember, but...
No, I don't. You know what you should do, Macca? Why don't you buy a house right beside the beach in Donegal somewhere for cheap?
That was also mooted to me. My aunt wants to do that.
I would do that. Like, I live there, so it's work from home now too.
But like, if I go to the west coast, right? Say I went to somewhere in the centre Donegal's coast.
Yeah.
I've got the same problems of Omagh, which is that nobody around here has the expertise I need.
Yeah.
Except now I'm further away from the places where the expertise are, and it's harder to get back to. Like here, it's like at least it's a 2-hour bus thing.
Ah, no way.
Whereas there, you know, I don't know. See, I had sort of toyed with moving to Limerick as well at some point.
Why Limerick? You get stabbed?
Just like the look of it. Yeah, it's like my kind of people. The underclass.
Serfdom? Limerick's very big, very fancy.
Limerick's got a wild lot going on for it at the minute, like.
Yeah.
I mean, there hasn't been a stabbing in about 10 years. Like, there's been more
There's not been a stabbing in it. There's been shootings though.
There's somebody stabbed to death in Dublin yesterday. Why is Dublin not stabbed today?
Because it's everybody knows Dublin's. Did you not see the roving gangs in the streets fighting and stuff like that in Dublin? It's a lawless city.
Don't be saying that. We're trying to convince them to fucking vote for us.
It's literally a lawless city, like.
And that's after the RUC man got in charge with a bit of Belfast proficiency.
I think he
Well, he definitely brought some Belfast proficiency when it comes to smashing the heads of peaceful protesters.
Peaceful protesters, yes, that's true. But then that's what you would expect. Aye, unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's dead. What do you call it? Drew Harris, is it?
Yeah.
Is that the one up here?
Well, Sinn Féin did not like that. And I thought, well, come on, there's going to be potentially good for that because, I mean, overall, the PSNI, over the course of since they were called PSNI, they've been far from the worst police service, even in Europe.
Oh no, they're not. I think they're better. They're better than the guards, like.
Yeah, so it's like, surely if you could bring in some of that training, like they're under hail of fucking petrol bombs every fucking week, and they don't react.
Yeah.
They only react when there's, peaceful protests or something.
But he's not from the PSNI. He was from the RUC, like it.
What was he?
Yes.
Actual RUC?
Actual RUC.
Oh well,
you know the SS RUC.
SS RUC. Back when Turby was off the fence.
Off the fence.
Well, I do some filming in this afterwards. We have to do some funny sketch to make it.
Here, what we're there for? We tell people, right? Because we're at Healy Park. The reason we're here, the home of throwing football, obviously. If you don't count Carfai, actual home of throwing football. What were you doing on Wednesday this week, Micah? What were we doing?
We were playing some football.
That's right. Did it still?
Find a free pen.
Oh, that's true. Have I still got it?
Angina.
Oh no.
What have you got?
For a fat man who's very unhealthy, I thought I had a good point there. Did not have an excellent point from about 40 out.
Yeah. Soccer goals wasn't even over the bar to hit, but
it was over the bar.
Speaking of Tyrone, 6 goals, 5 in the first half.
What, in the last match? I know it's going to be tough. The first game preliminary round of the Ulster Championships tomorrow too. Down Donegal.
BBC.
BBC 2. Yeah, that'll be quite the listen. I might have to switch one of the radio commentaries on. Unbelievable, I can't listen to it.
You're supposed to humiliate me for all my arrogance
of listening to the BBC.
No, of assuming Tyrone to be, semi-finalists.
In all Ireland.
Well, that's the expectation in Tyrone. Like that's just the baked in. Everyone expects them to be the semi-final. We're turning into Kerry fans now. Like we're not going to travel over the border. If it's...
You can tell me that's right. When's Kerry play their first match?
Well,
2 months. 2 months time, is it?
No, I think it was supposed to be this weekend.
And then they don't play for what, 2 months?
Maybe.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, I just don't understand it, like.
Well, to be fair, they do look very, very sharp this year.
So. Aye, well, they're the best team, probably, but you know what? We're still going to beat them. All Ireland.
See, Tyrone won't even get an Ulster this year, I don't think. I haven't seen that display.
Well, to be fair, Donegal also got stuffed by Dublin, like.
So we're pinning our hopes on fucking Derry.
No, I'm not pinning my hopes. I'm just saying, like, sure, we don't play them till like the Super 8s or whatever. We'll be fine. We'll get in the Super 8s and win that. There's always one team that gets into the Super 8s that's never been really that high in years, and they get slaughtered by every other team in it.
That's what I was going to say. Back in the old days, if they had reached the quarterfinal, or back in the old days again, that would have been the provincial final. That was a good year for a smaller team.
Yeah.
And then if you won the match, then you got on to the next, semi-final.
Semi-final, yeah.
Whereas this Super 8s now, you get to the quarter-final stage, and now you're getting fucking pummeled by the 3 best teams in the country.
Probably.
And it's like... What's your fucking...
Armagh will be good this year, I think. To be fair, it's really set against. Proportionally, Ulster has the most good teams.
Most Division 1 team.
Yeah, like we could easily, really, all the Ulster teams, if you were putting them into the other provinces, there's a good chance they would get the finals and stuff, even the likes of fucking Fermanagh or somewhere.
Well, Antrim are on the up this year.
on the up from ground floor doesn't mean anything, Macca.
That means you're up off the ground floor, aren't you? They got
Very disappointed. Anyway, we went to play Gaelic on Wednesday because Macca invited me to a pickup game, as you call it, Macca. So I had to decide to see how unfit I was. That's why we went on Wednesday.
Because the North Belfast Berserkers was where the pickup game is supposed to happen tomorrow.
The North Belfast Berserkers, is that what you call them?
That's what their name is. They're on a winning streak, having already defeated the Greencastle Reserves. So now they're on a 50% winning record. So I asked this jerk, did he want to join us? Get on a winning team for once in his life.
Yeah, you know what? I would have. We full forward, corner forward. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind it. Hey, so that's why I went to see if I could still do it. I was definitely unfit.
I couldn't even run the length of the pitch. I was fucking out of breath, thing.
So
it's really worrying.
But we should do. If you're still down here, you haven't bought that apartment. We should do it every week to get a bit of fitness, Macca. Then get that steel. I'm going to be the first Tyrone senior county player at the age of 40.
You going to play for the Masters? See, that was another brainwave I had yesterday. Televised the Masters.
You should televise the Masters. That'd be good, right, correct?
Because it's not affiliated with the GA or anything.
Is it not?
There's a big thing about that. Like the GA would recommend them for some reason. Like it seems like a reasonably good fucking idea.
Aye.
But it would, you know.
I'm up for that. If you want to do that, there, I'll go around the country with you.
And it can be a bit more, you know, you can be a bit more comical with the output and stuff. Because it's not as
it's not as competitive and serious and stuff.
Yeah. So Rory O'Neill's one of the ones from the North Belfast Berserkers. He was the captain of Antrim Masters. So my cousin, not the one who works in the fire.
But this is like the main team, not the reserve team that I would have been playing for.
No, so Greencastle is the club that we were playing.
Okay, alright, okay.
They have a reserve team because they don't have a reserve. They have nowhere for the reserves to play, so they were playing this random pickup team, as I've been referring to. I don't know how else to refer
so there's no other reserves in this like league that they can play, no?
There is no Division 3 reserves in Antrim.
Alright, okay.
There's a thing called the South Antrim League, which is just Belfast teams putting the reserves out, but that's where the seniors are playing. So they've nowhere to put the reserve.
Oh, so what? Their seniors are playing in like the reserve league in another one?
Well, it's not actually a reserve league. It's just a different league that was.
Alright, okay.
It's just people put the reserve teams into it.
Right, okay. So then these ones just need people to play.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't just go around like the Holy Lands and gather up all these ones from like Tyrone and Derry and all and play them, then get stuck by them.
Well, number one.
Hungover.
They'll all be students, and these are all in their 40s, 50s.
What's the matter with that? Well, I'm not that old yet. Here, I can be still a student.
Well, it does nobody any good. Seems to be a lot of activity in this particular venue. Anyway, it's gone 105.
Oh yeah, we need to sign off. What's your sign off this week, Macca?
I keep watching New Ireland TV. New TV station for New Ireland. We have brand new linguistics, Townland Treasures, it's called. A wonderfully catchy name that I couldn't even think of there.
That by McAfee.
Indeed, hosted by linguist and
historian
McAfee.
Does he? I know that McAfee speaks Irish, Latin as well.
He does reference Latin, but it's primarily townland names and how they've derived from the Irish language. Don't worry, it's not all Osgilga. You go to TG Cahar if you want to get that. This is for the Empire tongue only. But anyway, chatties.
Yeah, chatties. I will see if I'm still alive next week. I've slowly been going downhill in my capacity to be able to walk since doing exercise 3 days ago. So if I'm still alive, if we find me committed suicide in a prison cell, you know I was whacked.
Should have brought that pen that we found in Lover's Retreat.
Mike, I don't tell people we're at Lover's Retreat.
It is a bit weird. Why is it called that? Anyway, you ask for a fucking sign off, I give you a sign off, and then you start talking anyway. Dickhead.
You take the sip and their scratch cards.
Yeah, I will. The Irish scratch cards actually look nicer for some reason.
Oh, this is the newest thing.
Yeah.
Right, sign off again, Macca. Now that you're a poor pauper and they've kept you in your serfdom and your peasantry.
Yeah. Can't have fun, try harder.